Not only do we have the new Fantastic Beasts movie coming out this week, but this year marks the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And even though it was hot off the massive success of the first movie, Warner Brothers still had to, promote the new one. It'd be kinda weird if they didn't. So today, we're gonna see what it took to get people hyped for Chamber of Secrets. So let's get into it. Hello friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side and to a new episode of History of Hype, where we learn how butts got in seats for our favorite movies. And with this being the first episode of 2022, it just only made sense to talk about the next Harry Potter movie because that's where this whole show got started. So let's just take a step way back to when people were eagerly awaiting a return to Hogwarts. November 2001. Principal photography commenced on Chamber of Secrets a mere 3 days after Sorcerer's Stone was released. The filmmakers wasted no time in getting the sequel moving because kids do this thing called grow up incredibly fast. Fast forward to June 2002, where the first teaser trailer premiered alongside showings of the cinematic masterpiece, Scooby-Doo. Corporate synergy, what's up, bitch? It reminded the audience that we had just gotten the first movie last year, and now it's time for year 2 with even more magical shenanigans. Of course, we got our share of posters, including this teaser with Dobby the house elf being the focus, as well as different variations of the main poster and character posters with our heroes looking like badasses. And then there's Ron. Thankfully, there are no differences in title amongst various parts of the world, unlike the first movie. It's all Chamber of Secrets, cause who wouldn't understand that? It's a chamber filled with secrets. We all got skeletons in our closets. His name is Jeffrey. This was also in the era where movie websites were becoming a regular practice, where fans could chat with each other on message boards and play with interactive elements. Hell, if you picked up a pack of Coca-Cola, you could get a code to access stills from the movie. Just make sure you get the AOL keyword right. Such a simpler time. And hey, if you were around when this movie was coming out, then comment below what your hype level was for Chamber of Secrets. Let's reminisce together, shall we? Now we get to the world of merch and promos. The same general practices in place for Sorcerer's Stone were used here as well. Just a recap, put the audience into Harry's world, not Harry into our world. Sorry kids, no Polyjuice Potion McNuggets for you. In what I'd call a stroke of genius, they ran Harry Potter themed back to school ads, showing off all the Daniel Radcliffe school supplies you can hit up the 2nd grade with. Or you could just be like me and get told you bear a resemblance to Harry Potter through most of middle and high school. Plus, you can get yourself a brand new line of action figures, which are not that different from the ones from the first movie. This time they had a slime chamber theme to them, so the figures come with slime. Yeah, you guys remember all the dubious amounts of Kids' Choice Award slime in the movie, right? It does seem like a weird choice at first, but I don't know when you went down the toy aisle last, but yeah, kids are just really into goo. And we got a whole new wave of Lego sets, which are just as awesome as last time. In fact, retailers were experiencing shortages of the new Harry Potter sets because they were that high in demand. If you remember back to the Sorcerer's Stone episode, I couldn't get my hands on any of those sets to save my life, but this time I did! It's a really small set, but I'm honestly just glad to have one of these sets for Chamber of Secret. Wait a minute. Oh, it says it's from Sorcerer's Stone, not Chamber of Secrets.
I've been bamboozled.
Well, we've covered the trailer, the posters, and the merchandise. What's next? Don't go asking me, apparently. The games for the Xbox, PS2, and GameCube, as well as portable versions for various Game Boys. Let's take a look-see into the PS2 version, shall we? This game features the same graphics and overall level design as we saw in the newer Sorcerer's Stone game. This is because that one came out in 2003, a year after Chamber of Secrets, so they recycled a lot of the same assets from the list of spells, right down to lines of dialogue.
Hey Harry, Fred and George have set up a shop. You can trade all kinds of things with them for spells and really wicked stuff.
You get to explore new parts of the Wizarding World like the Burrow, Whomping Willow, and Diagon Alley, which is extremely empty. Not at all like the Diagon Alley at Universal Studios. Don't tease me like this.
It's the least I can do to help out the poor and needy.
Harry!
Harry, I remember the time when I was writing my second bestseller.
Ow! I didn't mention this last time, but there is once again no jump button. It just always rubs me the wrong way when games don't give you the option to jump freely. You know what else this game doesn't have?
That guy.
Yeah, they just completely cut Dobby out of the game. You freaking turds. The worst part of the game by far though is the camera. It is so weirdly restricted, and not being able to get a proper 360 view of my surroundings was really debilitating at times. And I shit you not, the camera can get stuck in the environment while you just trail off into the darkness. But hey, any game where you fight an evil washing machine within the first 10 minutes is a-okay in my book. I've definitely got my frustrations with this game, but I think for the most part it still maintains the level of charm that the Sorcerer's Stone game had, which just gives me all the nostalgia feels. I feel it's also appropriate to show you Chamber of Secrets for the Game Boy Color, or as it's known on the streets, the last Game Boy Color game ever made. It's what you'd expect, a 16-bit version of the console game, but it takes more of an RPG-style approach, which is just really not for me. However, I figured it was worth mentioning for the historical significance. Plus I spent monies on it. Finally, the second round of Harry Potter hype came together on November 14th, 2002. Almost a full year after the first movie. It brought in $88 million on its opening weekend and would make over $878 million worldwide. Not making quite as much as Sorcerer's Stone, but these numbers are still nothing to sneeze at. It was the second highest grossing movie of 2002, sitting right between Spider-Man and Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. 8 Mile was number 18.
Mom spaghetti!
It of course came to DVD with a digibook design to match with Sorcerer's Stone on your shelf. Then they threw this design out the f***ing window for all future Harry Potter releases because consistency is for suckers. Chamber of Secrets may not be everybody's favorite Harry Potter movie, but I still really enjoyed this one even though I didn't get to experience it in the theater. Plus, it serves as an interesting point in the series where each one just gets progressively darker after this one. So it goes without saying, but the hype certainly paid off for Chamber of Secrets, because then we got 6 more movies, then a spin-off, and it was the most successful movie franchise in history until the Marvel Cinematic Universe started to pick up steam, but anywho. So if you want to see some more History of Hype episodes, you can check out the playlist right over there, or if you want to see what YouTube recommends you watch me next, you can check out that video right down there, and of course subscribe if you live, talk, and buy movies, and we'll see you on the Brockopp side.